Al Ferguson joining me from Tel Aviv, Israel. Al, I've been following your saga over the course of the weekend. I should probably tell everybody watching that it's about 3:30 our time on Sunday afternoon. It's 10:30 in Tel Aviv right now. I want to get to everything that's been happening, but over the course of the weekend. But I want to start just with what's new. You've sent me videos of evacuations. You've sent me videos of just sirens going off over this gorgeous beach town and a world capital that has no cars on the streets. Just tell me what's happening now. Just the vibe, for lack of a better word.
Well, John thank you. And I'm so happy to see you and to be able to talk to you and everyone in South Florida. I arrived in Tel Aviv on Wednesday. I was invited here by the Ministry of Israel, along with 10 total LGBT journalists, principally from Germany, England, France, and Italy. And I'm the only American representative in the delegation. We arrived on Wednesday. Tel Aviv Pride was to happen on Friday. And early Friday morning, Israel attacked the nuclear sites in Iran and other locations. Since almost immediately, within 30 minutes, Iran fired a counterattack of missiles, not ballistic missiles yet, but missiles on Israel and principally on Tel Aviv. And we have had, I believe, 9 attacks now, with this being Sunday night. In preparing to talk to you, we had one about an hour ago. The picture over my shoulder, I'm on my hotel balcony on the main Promenade Beach in Tel Aviv. And they have begun, this has escalated significantly, firing ballistic missiles at Tel Aviv. The Iron Dome principally is succeeding, but they are having some hits get through.
And just real quick, the Iron Dome, for people who don't know, is their anti-missile defense system that basically shoots out, and it catches 98% of incomings, but not all of them. So go ahead, Al.
That's exactly right. John, I have to tell you, today we had a daylight attack of ballistic missiles, which caught us all by surprise about 2 o'clock this afternoon, which was the first daylight attack. I have traveled all over the world and have never experienced anything like this. The last 48 hours have been the 2 most difficult travel days that I have ever had in my entire life, and that is saying something in terms of travel across the world. I have stood on this balcony. Israel has an amazing system of alert. The alerts are scary because first you get a notice on if you have a cell phone in Israel. Every cell phone in Israel, and right now they estimate that there's approximately 8 to 9 million cell phones in Israel. They all go off simultaneously. So you hear a siren alarm through the phone, much what I've imagined tornado warnings are like in the United States. It tells you that you have this many minutes, and essentially it's approximately 10 minutes notice before incoming missiles are going to begin landing. The sirens then in the city that is being targeted go off. I have shared with you and others video from this balcony in central Tel Aviv where sirens are going off all over the city. And then after approximately 10 minutes, you are to be in a safe space, which is considered a shelter, principally underground parking garages. And literally, you begin to see the ballistic missiles starting to come in, and you see the missiles being launched from Israel to intercept them. Last night, I saw 2 missiles that got through the Iron Dome defense and actually landed. And you're seeing in the news of Israelis that were killed or damaged. And that's because the Iron Dome was not 100% effective, as you said. But for an American, for an LGBT guy from Walton Manors in South Florida, I've never seen anything like it. It is literally jarring to watch these rockets come in. You have time to get to the shelter, but it's just an incredible experience, and uh, I'm not even sure I can put into words how harrowing watching this transpire. It's almost like watching a movie, but being in the movie.
Al, so I'm assuming you are basically shuttling between your hotel room, the hotel restaurant, and the hotel's underground parking slash bomb shelter. How close has what's the closest an explosion has been to you, like as in a missile impact?
You're watching a building over my shoulder right here.
Okay.
I'm pointing at it. And last night, I saw a rocket hit, and then the sky turned bright white on the other side of that building. That's how close it is. Now, in terms of mileage, I can't tell you that. The Israeli Defense Force is not providing that kind of information, but it's close. And the other thing that's important is I'm in central Tel Aviv. So we're watching the Iranian ballistic missiles fly overhead, whether they're going on to another location. We're still watching them. We're seeing them fly overhead, and we're seeing the Iron Dome defense missiles launch. And so, while we think it's very close, and in many instances over the last 3 days they have been close, it doesn't really matter the distance because they feel like they're right on top of you.
You sent me some video that I've already shared with our viewers. I'll share it again here of people in the stairwell, people milling about in the once they reach the bottom, the parking garage. Um, it seems like the Israelis, the citizens of Tel Aviv, almost have a very like I don't want to say nonchalant, but almost like what I would have imagined the British during the Blitz in World War II. Some pass the time by watching their phones. Others are having conversations. You sent me a video of people dancing. What I'm assuming it was a traditional Israeli folk song or something like that.
Yeah.
How are they dealing with it? Because it seems like they're, and I don't want to say the word used to it, but they seem not as upset as we are.
John, for this story, that is such a fantastic question because we're having the opportunity of a South Florida Wilton Manors LGBT reporter talking to an LGBT reporter. We don't have any perspective like this, in my opinion. I've never seen a perspective like this in America, and you've hit the bullseye. The Israelis are resolute. They know what's going on. They know how serious it is. They follow the protocols. Their organizational system is precise, but at the end of the day, they are literally Iron Dome applies to a phrase to Israelis because they respond to this almost in a matter of fact way. While we are panicking every time this happens, I have people that I'm traveling with in this LGBT media delegation that are crying. Frequently, they're crying. And the Israelis are reassuring to us. Somebody delivered food to my room today and knocked on the door unsolicited from me just to bring food from the hotel and to make sure that I was okay and reassured me over and over again, it'll be okay. You'll be okay. And it's this backbone among the Israelis that we will persevere no matter what. So even in this overwhelming, largest attack in 3 decades against Israel, the Israelis almost unconditionally and universally respond to it by going, we'll ride it out and then we'll take the next steps after it. It's amazing to watch and amazing to see. Respects have just grown geometrically for the LGBT community here and for Israelis in general.
I know, and okay, I'm about to ask you something, and I don't want you to give me any details if they've given you some information that should not be shared with the outside world. But I believe all airports are still closed in Israel. You told me that El Al, Israel's national airline, had evacuated the country, as in their planes are parked probably in the EU somewhere at an EU airport. How are you going to get out? Or is there
Well,
a plan yet?
I have just finished a meeting where the meeting said there's no plan yet. That's what the meeting decided. I'm in day 4 now, and there is no solution on the horizon. First, to your point about the El Al planes. Imagine 9/11 happening on September 11th, 2001, and the solution would have been to make all planes in the United States leave the United States and go to Canada or Mexico. That is what the Israeli government decision was. All of the jets in Israel left Israel. There are no jets here. The airports are not only closed, there is no ability to have subsequent impacts on jets in Israel at airports because they're not here anymore. Well, obviously, the travel consequences of international travel are dramatically interrupted as they were from 9/11, and even more so. What is happening now is, what are the solutions to get out of Israel? The US State Department has told all Americans here that they recommend that we surface transfer by ground transportation across the Jordanian border to the capital of Jordan, of Amman, and then fly from Amman to other cities. And that could be on Royal Jordanian to Turkey or to Athens or to New York or other cities around the world. But you have to get to Jordan to be able to do that. And currently, there are no solutions to be able to do that. While the US Embassy is recommending that that's what I should do, the Israeli ministry is saying, don't do that. It is too dangerous to travel surface transportation to cross the Jordanian, cross into the Jordanian border into Jordan. So literally, there is a conundrum deadlock. There's no way to get out of Israel. And currently, after the attacks early Friday morning, this is Sunday night, there is no movement on the possibility of getting out of Israel at all. And we don't know what that's going to be yet.
Is there
Wow.
is now, I know that, I mean, and just for people watching, we haven't, I mean, we said hi and everything before we started recording, but you're telling me all this fresh. And so I'm absorbing this as your friend and as someone who loves you. So pardon me if my journalistic shield has come down a little bit. Is it possible? I know that the American embassy in Israel, the American mission to Israel, is in Jerusalem, but I would presume there's a consulate in Tel Aviv.
There's a
Would
there's
going
also an embassy here in Tel Aviv.
There is, okay,
Yeah.
there's a full embassy. Okay, would going there, is that an option? That
Well,
hopefully that maybe the Iranians would try to avoid targeting that area. You're in America for all intents and purposes. Is that an option?
tomorrow, the answer to your question is I don't know. But tomorrow, I am going to walk to the U.S. Embassy, which is approximately 1 mile from this hotel, and present myself at the U.S. Embassy and ask all kinds of questions because I currently do not know. I only have the bulletin notices that they're sending to all Americans that are here in Israel. So I do not know that answer yet, but I'm going to try to get that answer tomorrow. I do know for sure the U.S. Embassy, while perhaps providing safe harbor for employees and personnel of the U.S. Embassy and the embassy mission in Israel for U.S. citizens that are working for the embassy, they're doing that. For Americans that are here and trapped in Israel, I have not heard anyone say that they're directly getting involved in evacuation. So I do not know that answer yet. It is, after seeing the missiles come in, the scariest thing, because literally I have become a nomad in a foreign country. And that is an experience I have never had in my entire life.
How is how is infrastructure still running? I mean, I know that the attacks have been relatively small. I mean, they hit a building, but they're not taking out power plants that we've heard of yet. We're talking, so I assume there's still decent Wi-Fi and internet service. But what about people going about, like, are delivery trucks coming in, or like, or in 2 days is food going to run out at the hotel and we don't know where replacements are going to come from?
I suspect that is what we're getting ready to experience. Yesterday, I was in an event with an official of global tourism for Tel Aviv, and I was very distraught when I was asked, "Are you getting food?" And when they asked me that question, it is a forebearer of what potentially might happen here. Israel, Tel Aviv is under a state of emergency. So there's nothing open. I am sitting over my shoulder. I'm on the main promenade of Tel Aviv. And this is one of the major tourism sites in the world. And there's virtually no traffic at all. Stores are not open. Gas stations are not open. Hotels do not have guests checking in. And they also currently do not have guests checking out because there's no place for you to go. So, literally, an entire nation has completely stopped in gridlock. So, your question is, we are in a situation now on the beginning of day 4 that is only going to worsen because obviously there is a business infrastructure that is to work in a certain way, and that has been completely disconnected.
Al, is there anything I haven't touched on, something that just happened, something you want to share before we say goodbye?
I've just in the last minutes, John, shared a video to you, and it's the first real laugh that I've had in 4 days. In the video, I'm sitting in this meeting at dinner where we're being briefed on what the current situation is, and the ballistic missile attack begins, and we move to the deep parking garage under this hotel. I have a glass of wine at dinner, which I brought with me to dinner, of course, as you know, and I bring it with me to the underground bomb safety shelter. And I begin to comment about where I'm at and what is happening. And I make the note of this very offensive Twitter post that Caitlyn Jenner did. Caitlyn Jenner is staying 2 hotels from me at the Intercontinental.
Well, thank
And
God
she
she's not in your hotel.
and thank God she is not in my hotel, and I don't see her at these endless ballistic missile attacks. She did a Twitter post of her sitting in the shelter at the Intercontinental, and she did it at her hotel in Jerusalem also with a glass of wine. So tonight, I tributed the anti-Caitlyn Jenner tonight in the ballistic missile attack, and I made the joke, and I had my phone as I was being recorded, and started to play Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive." And people around me started to respond to it. And in the video that you will see, Israelis began to sing and began to dance. And they started a small little party in the bomb shelter under this hotel. And I thought, that's the first time I've seen that since this event has started. And I thought, we really are going to make it through this. And it was the first time that I thought, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get home to Wilton Manors, but I will get home.
We know you will, Al. And I can't wait. I'm baking you a little something special to welcome you back, and I cannot wait to give it to you, sir.
John, can I say one other thing?
Yes.
This has also been the loneliest, scariest thing I have ever been through. And in all of my travels across the world, I'm an intrepid traveler. I've traveled everywhere in the world. Being able to have these last days at 7 o'clock in the morning here or 3:30 in the morning here to be able to talk to you by WhatsApp or by Messenger or whatever, and others in South Florida in our LGBTQ community, I just have to tell you, it's really helped me get through because I don't know how I literally I feel like I'm the only American here. And it's been a stressful and lonely situation. So I thank you, John, and to so many of my friends in South Florida that have reached out and talked to me and encouraged me and wished me well. It's made all of the difference completely.
Al, we love you. We love you. We miss you, and we're fucking scared. We're fucking scared for you. We are here with you. Anytime you want to message me, please do, because I love you. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you back here.
Me too. Hopefully, it's not going to be the 4th of July.
Oh no, because that's gonna. Yes, absolutely. Al, I love you. Thank you so much for joining us, and
Nice talking.
hopefully we will talk again, and you will have great news that you are in a car headed to Jordan or wherever. So thank you, Al. Keep us updated.
I will. Thank you.